computer dapat.
Okay. Look. Hebrews chapter 9, 14 to 17. Pakibasa, Rosette, ha? 14. Okay, thank you. 14 to 17. Rosette?
Akala ko na-mute na. Sorry. How much more will the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without blemish to God, cleanse your conscience from dead works to serve the living God?
15.
For this reason, he is the mediator of a new covenant, so that since a death has taken place for the redemption of the transgressions that were committed under the first covenant, those who have been called may receive the promise of the eternal inheritance.
Jesus Christ, for this reason, he is what? The mediator, what? Of the new covenant. Na? Diba? What is the new covenant ba? Diba? Matthew. Okay. Matthew 26. Matthew 26. Matthew 26. Okay. What's the new covenant? Yanky, pakibasa na. Start with 20. Verse start with 20. Start with 26 hanggang 28.
But they were eating.
Okay, and as they were eating, tama? Matthew 26.
Now,
As they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it, and brake it, and gave it to the disciples and said, "Take, eat, this is my body." And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, "Drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins."
okay. So ano yung covenant?
This is my blood of the covenant.
Yeah. Yan yung salvation. That is the new covenant. It is written in what? It's not written in the tablet. It's written in our heart. Diba? For every covenant, there is a sign. Guys, tandaan nyo ha. Dun sa Noah, ang covenant nun, together with the promise, is the rainbow. Ha? Hanggang ngayon, may rainbow tayo. Diba? Doon naman kay Abraham, yung covenant niya, ano? Ano yung sign doon? Sa mga Jews, ano sila? Circumcision. Diba? It's a circumcision. Diba? Kay Moses naman is what? Yung Sabbath. Ngayon, pagdating doon sa New Testament, ano yung signs? Diba? It's the blood of Christ. Diba? That is the new covenant. And then, pag merong covenant, there is a promise. Guys, there is a promise. John chapter 10. Nung kay Noah, pinaramis niya na hindi ko na muling, hindi na muling sisirain ng mundong ito sa pamamagitan ng tubig.
Diyan, ano?
John chapter 10, 27 to 29. Okay.
Si Tessie.
O, Tessie, pakibasa. Okay.
29,
27.
29, 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give eternal life to them, and they will never perish, and no one will snatch them out of my hand. My Father who has given them to me is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of my Father's hand. And I and the Father are one.
This is one of the promises. Di ba? Sabi niya, kung ikaw ay, if you really my sheep, alam mo yung aking anak, how he suffered the blood, di ba? Sabi niya, I will give you eternal life. Guys, that is promised because that is a covenant. And God does not lie. Siya yung gumawa ng covenant eh. Pwede tayo magkasala, di ba? So that's why, guys, hindi nyo napupuna, no matter how we sin, yung how we yung
fail, we fall.
we fail, di ba? Anong ginagawa ni God? Di ba? Dinidisipline tayo kasi He wants us to go back. Kasi hindi niya tayo pwedeng pabayaan kasi that is His covenant. He is obliged to do it. Di ba? To give us eternal life and they will never perish. Tandaan niyo yung ating sa Revelations, and no one will snatch them out of my hand. So we are secured. Once you're saved, we are saved. Di ba? No matter how we struggle in life, guys, we are secured. Di ba? My Father who has gave them to me is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of my Father's hand. So how comforting, guys? How yun lang ang point ko sa inyo. Yung covenant na yan, na God made it and He is obliged to do it, although yung kanyang mga anak is keep on repeating, on sinning, kaya nga meron tayong discipline, di ba? So He wants us to go back to Him. Kasi He is obliged to do it, that covenant. Di ba? So we go back to Genesis chapter 8. Ang haba, ano? Yung remembered, ang haba. Ang haba. Guys, remember.
Nasa verse 1 pa lang tayo.
Remember, nung nasa loob yung sila Noah sa ark, they were never forgotten because of the covenant. Diba? Okay, number 2. Now the springs of the deep in the blind gates of the heaven has been closed. Kasi di ba nung umulan, di ba? Rain at the top and then yung mga springs nag-emerge, di ba? And then
And the canopy. Tatlong
Okay.
sources ng water.
Okay. Because God has remembered Noah, He remembered the covenant. Ito yung mga promise niya. Now that the spring and the rain stopped, the water receded steadily from the earth, and the end of the 150 days, the water has gone down. It's gone down. So nagsettled na. On the 17th day of the 7th month, the earth came to rest. Ito yung pinakita ko sa inyo kanina. Yung Ararat, the waters continue to recede until the 10th month of the first day of the 10th month, the top of the mountain became visible. Sana na screenshot nyo kanina yung pinakita namin sa inyo. Kasi ito yun eh. And then number 6, after 40 days, Noah opened the window. Yun. He opened, may window pala yan eh, may window. Parang
Sa taas.
Sa taas. Kasi parang exhaust yun eh. Di ba? Naanuan natin noon, di ba? Paano yung mga pupo, di ba? Di mangangamoy yun. There is a ventilation. Exactly inano ni God yun sa chapter 6. Magkaroon kayo rito ng window, sabi niya. And sent out a raven, and it kept flying back and forth until the water has dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water receded from the surface of the ground. 9. But the dove could find nowhere to perch because there was water, diba? All over the surface of the earth. So it returned to Noah in the ark. Okay. He reached out his hand and took the dove and brought it back to himself. Guys, inutusan ba ni God si Noah na gawin itong mga dove? Inutusan ba niya? May lesson to eh, guys. Did God said, did God said, Noah, i-test mo kung may ano. He did not, di ba? God did not, di ba? Hindi eh, di ba? Kasi, guys, ganito. Binigyan tayo ni God ng talent. Di ba?
Wisdom.
We have a mind of Christ, a little mind of Christ. Binigyan tayo ng wisdom. Di ba? Minsan, we are yung sabihin, yeah, it's good naman na kailangan merong confirmation kay God, we pray for God. Pero minsan, we use our God-given talent na ibinigay sa to make decisions in our life. Di ba? Halimbawa, may masakit ka sa katawan mo, siyempre patingin ka, may nakapagpatingin ka. You don't have to ask, 'di ba? Okay lang 'yung mag-pray tayo sa pero yung mga ganyan dapat we make our decisions, 'di ba? Through God-given talent na binigay sa atin sa kanya. Okay. 11, when the dove returned him in the evening, there is beak was freshly plucked olive. And then Noah knew the water has receded from the earth. He waited 7 days pa. 7 more days and sent the dove out again. But this time, it did not return to him. Okay. Ito na hindi. Ito na yung 13. By the first day of the first month of Noah's 600 and first year. Ilang taon na si Noah? 600 and first year. Ilang taon na siya?
601.
680.
601. Guys, 'di ba? Yung flood, bago mag-receipt and everything yung nangyari sa
1 year.
almost 1 year.
600 plus.
Oh. On the first day of the first month of Noah's 600 and first year, the water has dried up from the earth. Talagang completely dry. Hindi ka na magbobota. God can do it.
Wala nang putik.
Diba? God can do it. Diba? Noah then removed the covering from the ark and saw that the surface of the ground was dry. Yun yung sinasabi ko, guys. Guys, God prepared everything. Diba? Hindi bumaba na lang basta sila Noah na punong-punong putik. Actually, sabi nga ng mga Bible scholar, it was nung bumaba sila, meron ng ang tawag ito, meron ng mga halaman na tumutubo. 'Di ba? Kaya nga di ba, tingnan niyo ito the water has dried up from the earth. Noah then removed the surface of the ground. By the 27th day of the second month, the earth was completely dry. Okay, and then ito na instruction ni God. Then God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark. You and your wife." Tingnan niyo yung sequence. Tingnan niyo yung sequence, 'di ba? You and your wife and your sons and their wives. So ilan lahat sila? Ilan lahat sila, guys?
Nakalimutan na.
8. Okay, galing. Bring out every kind of living creature. So, una muna ang human, and then the animals, di ba? The birds, the animals, and all the creatures move along the ground so they can multiply on the earth and be fruitful and increase in number of it. So Noah came out together with sons and his wife and son wives. All the animals or the creatures move along the ground and all the birds. Everything that moves on the land came out of the ark, one kind after another. Diba? So lumabas na sila kasi it was completely dry. Prepared by God. Diba? Then Noah built an altar. Ano yung unang ginawa ni Noah? Anong ginawa ni Noah?
Build an altar.
Build an altar. You worship. Di ba? Yun ang unang ginawa. Tapos, ano yung kanilang tawag nito? Ano yung kanilang sacrifice?
Kumuha ng malinis na hayop at ibon
Clean
at
birds.
sinunog bilang handog.
Ito yung tanong, paano natutunan ni Noah itong sacrifice na to? Taking some or clean animals and clean birds He sacrificed burnt offering. Paano niya natutunan?
At saka nag-build
Sa
siya ng
puso po niya.
Paano niya natutunan?
the first time na ano ang altar dito na naka-build.
The Lord smelled the pleasing aroma and said in his heart, never, ito yung, pag may covenant, merong promise. Never again I will crush the ground. Okay, because of human, even though, ito yung pinaka-importante guys, even though every inclinations of the human heart is evil from childhood. So ano yung ibig sabihin nun? I-analyze nyo nung bumaba sila, di ba?
Kahit na masama ka pa nun.
Pinramis ni God, I will never curse the ground again because of human. I will never, kasi sa ano to sa ibang version, I will never curse the ground again by water, di ba?
Ito wala naman sinabi.
Curse the ground
pakibasa
for
mo nga.
man's sake.
Yanky yung sa'yo,
Sa King
pakibasa.
James, walang sinabi.
Na anong
Na
sabi?
water.
Okay, I will never curse the ground again
For man's sake.
for man's sake, di ba?
For the imagination of man's heart.
Ito sa version ko, I will never again curse the ground because of the human race, even though everything they think was imagined. So anong nangyari dun sa flood? Nabago ba ang mga tao o hindi?
Hindi.
Hindi. Kasi ano sabi? Never again will it cross the ground even though every inclination of human heart is evil from childhood. So nung lumabas yung mag-anak ni Noah, it's the same. Makasalanan pa rin sila. Hindi na bago. The blood did not change the people. Diba? Hindi na bago Kasi alam nyo, after nito, diba? Sino yung mga anak niya? Sino yung mga anak niya?
Si Ham, si Shet, si Japheth.
Si Ham, si Shep, at saka si Yvet. Diba? Alam nyo yung, malapit na tayo kay Abraham, yung si Shem, ba? Yung si Shem, yung anak niya, dyan yung line ni Abraham. Di ba? Ganito ang ganda kasi, di ba? Magsimula tayo kay Adam and Eve. So si Adam and Eve, sino yung kanilang anak?
Abel.
Si
And
Cain and
Cain
Abel. So ni-murdered ni Cain si Abel. So Cain cannot be the line of the Messiah, di ba? Sa Genesis 3:15. So merong nag-anak uli sila si Seth, di ba, Yanky? Si Seth. Si Seth nandun yung line ni Noah. Ni Noah. Di ba? So nagkaroon ng dilubyo, naubos ang mga tao, di ba? So si Noah natira at yung tatlong anak niya. Yung isang anak niya doon, si Shem, yun yung linya ni Abraham. Yun yung linya ni Abraham. So natuloy. Di ba? Natuloy talaga yung line talaga. Doon sa Genesis 3:15 na sinabi ron na from the seeds of the woman, di ba? Yung from the seeds of the woman, doon manggagaling talaga yung Savior, di ba? Yun. Ito yung linya, di ba? From Seth to Noah, from Noah to Shem, and Shem to Abraham. Okay. Yung question na bakit nila nalaman
Kung paano
kung paano mag-sacrifice, yung paano yung mag-kill ng animal. Kasi tandaan nyo nung si Adam and Eve ay nagkasala, di ba? How did God clothe them? Paano niya yung kasi nalaman ni Adam and Eve, hubad sila, di ba? Di ba? Nahiya sila, nahubad na sila. So God clothed them. Paano?
By killing.
By killing ano? Ano ba pinang-cloth sa kanila?
Di ba bark?
Hindi. Yanky ah.
Dahon.
Ano?
Dahon po.
Una, pig leaves. Una.
Hindi.
First the pig.
Ano pinang-cloth sa kanya?
Pumatay si God.
Balat
Bahay
ng
na hayop, no?
Yung balat ng hayop.
Balat ng
So
hayop.
paano makukuha ang balat ng hayop? Kailangan ano?
May patayan.
Patayin.
Ayun.
Kailangan patayin. That is the first blood
God sacrifice.
sacrifice. Tapos ano yung kinuha ni God na ano? May kasalanan ba yung animals
Wala.
na pinatay ni God para i-cloth doon? May kasalanan ba? Walang kinalaman. Diba? Walang kinalaman yung if it is the sheep clothing, yung sheep kinil ni God para i-cloth kay Adam and Eve. That sheep wala siyang kinalaman. That is the point. Si Jesus Christ walang kinalaman. Diba? Wala siyang kinalaman.
Walang kasalanan.
He is sinless. Wala siyang kasalanan. And yet God made a cloth para kay Adam and Eve para matakpan yung kanilang
By shedding the
kasalanan.
blood of
By shedding the blood of an innocent animal. Diba? Di ba ang ganda? Doon pa lang sa Genesis, meron ng Christ. Diba? Nandun na yung shadow ni Christ.
yung shadow.
Yung shadow
Yung
niya.
Maano
Diba?
mo, kung papaano.
Kung papaano. Why God has arrived to the point na kailangan niyang i-sacrifice yung kanyang anak. Because right from the start, sinimulan na niya. Diba? So he clothed Adam and Eve kasi nahihiya because of sin. Diba? He made that fur. Parang fur yun eh, di ba? Actually, it's the first blood. Okay. So, yun, hanggang dito lang muna ito sa chapter 8. Pero sa chapter 9, yan yung very interesting din. Kaya, because of the blood, maraming nabago. Kasi, yung before the blood kasi dati noon, oo, yung hindi pa ang kinakain lang ng mga tao talaga, inaalaw ni God is hindi pwedeng ng animals, hindi pwedeng patayin because of the sin. Ipag-aralan lang natin sa chapter. Very interesting. It's not yung very relevant. And then stop sharing. Very relevant. Kaya ako binigyan ng guys yung emphasis yung kanina yung remember kasi nung nag-sharing tayo kanina. Yung struggle kami meron guys. Meron kami talaga. So
Right.
as in capital S. Oo.